Welcome back to NewOrleans.Football presented by PJ's Coffee, coming to you from the Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center podcast studio, where we are going to break down the Saints' 26-14 loss to the Chicago Bears. Kind of a disheartening game for the Saints. What went wrong? What does it mean for Spencer Rattler? What does it mean for Kellen Moore? We're going to get into all of that and much more. If you're looking to buy a car, make sure you're buying that car off my guy, Matt Bowers. Check him out at one of his many locations. He'll get you the best prices, best customer care, car buying experience that cannot be beaten. And if you want to celebrate your fandom beyond the field and after a loss, you might need to celebrate it somewhere else. Keesler Federal is proud to be the official credit union sponsor of the New Orleans Saints. They're a not-for-profit organization, meaning their members always come first. You can enjoy lower fees, better rates, and everything else Saints fans need to help you get one step closer to living your dreams. That's Keesler Federal, the official credit union sponsor of the New Orleans Saints. First topic today is presented by the Mortgage Brothers, mortgagebros.money online. You'll get $500 off your closing costs. Tell them that you heard about them on NOF to get that discount. All right, so Saints did not play a good football game today. It's another loss, but I think this is the first one that kind of falls in a different bucket. Now, Seattle was over there too a little bit, but this one was very, very disheartening, I think, for the Saints for a number of reasons. And I think this is the first time that it's really felt like, oh, wow, there's real levels of despair here and it can get worse. The nice thing about this rebuild to this point is that you could lie to yourself about it. And there's bright spots and you can focus on the bright spots and you can look at the Bills game and say, hey, look, they were close to beating the Bills, or at least we're in the game with the Bills, not close to beating them, but we're in the game with the Bills. Or, oh, hey, Arizona came down to one play. Or, oh, hey, San Francisco was close. Or, oh, hey, the Patriots won, but if this had happened or this had happened, Spencer Rattler would have these positive things on his resume. He played a great game. Oh, Jonas Sanker played a great, like, there was always something to hold on to in each one of those games. Today, there's nothing to hold on to. It's the former coach and the staff he's on just dominating, just kicking in the teeth of the Saints, just running down the field, 5-yard run after 10-yard run after 20-yard run after 24-yard run after just moment after moment, just kicking their teeth and being in the red zone and just literally dragging a pile of people down to the 1-yard line. It was an ass kicking. And this one just felt a little bit different. And you look at the schedule then and it's like, oh man, Baker Mayfield and the Bucs are next and the Rams are next. And it's tough. And it lets you know, like, there's a difference between being a Saints fan up until this point in the season and being a Jets fan up until this point in the season. Jets are hopeless. The Saints are kind of a team that have maintained some positive momentum despite not getting results. Today, there's none of that. The brakes were hit, and it's a nasty feeling today. This one feels different than the other ones, and it is a rebuild, and these come in rebuilds, and you're gonna have bad days. But I think it's just been fortunate for the Saints that their only bad day, you could kind of just blame it on that third phase. Oh, special teams screwed them and did this. Well, today it wasn't just special teams. It was the defense. It was the offense. It was missed field goals. It's a nasty loss. Break it all down. Here comes my guy Tripp from Soldier Field. Joined now by my guy Mike Triplett from Soldier Field for the Shea Bear segment of the show. Shea Bear, the Earhart Agency. Make sure you're hitting up the Earhart Agency. On your worst days, Shea Bear will be there for you. I don't know if Spencer Rattler had this performance insured, but definitely. Look, we were highly complimentary of him last week coming off that Patriots game. Looked amazing in it. Very, very clean game. Today was about as dirty as it gets. Yeah. 3 picks, 4 picks. Was it? What was it? 3 or 4? I'm
3 picks, 1 loss.
3 picks, 1 dropped, and then the fumble.
1
4
pick
turnovers.
that was in the hands of the receiver or the defender until the other defender knocked it out of his hands. So,
and then there was another ball that should have been picked off in this game. Not a good game for him. What'd you kind of make of it?
Well, it's funny that you joke that he didn't have insurance. I mean, he does. That's what the first 6 weeks of this season were. It bought him this bad game. Like, I don't think we're going to have Spencer's getting benched at halftime. Spencer's getting benched on Tuesday. I don't think we're there yet with him because he had bought so much goodwill and so much good graces by avoiding this game. but the door got opened back up again for scrutiny. So he needs to prove that this is a one-off. I think he'll get the chance to prove that this is a one-off. And for a little while there, I actually thought, he was showing some good response to adversity. But I think the biggest disappointment, this is something I know you talked about during the live broadcast, and you've been talking about all along, is it's like, okay, Spencer, now open it up a little more. Like, this team doesn't do anything on 3rd and long. This team doesn't really do anything down the field. He's been relying on not turning it over. Well, what happens if you do air it out more? What happens if you take more chances? What happens if you get more aggressive? And he kind of failed that test. And so that's really disappointing. You wanted to see him go down the field more. And there was even a line from Kellen Moore about why they did the hook and ladder on 3rd and 20. And he goes, downfield passes haven't really been an option for us on those plays this year. So we had to come up with something. It's like, this was like proof today that that's not, I don't want to say it's not part of his game, but he hasn't shown his coach that he can trust him to make that part of his game. So that is absolutely going to have to be part of the formula if Spencer Rattler wants to keep developing and try to hang on to this job. Is he needs to prove that he can't just win. A lot of them said 1st and 2nd downs were bad today, so he was in bad positions all day long, and that's true. But he needs to show you that he can't just win when you can keep your game plan conservative.
So I think some of our listeners get frustrated with me specifically because, like, I won't coronate someone after a performance, and I'm not gonna throw somebody into the just into the sewer after one bad game. So this is where I'm at with it. We saw it. He went out. He tried to do it. He made a ton of mistakes, and it was an absolutely awful performance. Now, what does he do next week? Yeah. Can he come back from it? Can he go and say, okay, I was behind on this throw, so let me fix it on this one. I was behind on this throw or too far on this one down the field. Let me fix it. The scramble drill was off. Let me see how I fix it. I got into a bad situation in crunch time and I threw the ball it looked like quadruple coverage on that last one. How do I fix it? The Byard one, like, okay, you made the mistakes. Can you make the corrections? Because he's not going to be the first quarterback to have an awful performance, and he's not going to be the last, and he's not going to be the first guy that Dennis Allen absolutely smoked, and he's not going to be the last. So let's see what he does from here. But I'm with you. I think it felt like the door was closing. I think on our Friday show, I was like, hey, look, my bold take for the season is that I don't know that we're going to see the other guy play a game this year. It at least feels way more possible after seeing this. And probably my worst take of the season was that I didn't know that. I felt like Spencer would never put himself in a position to be in a meltdown. And I don't know if I classify this as a full blown meltdown, but it was on the path to it. If it wasn't, four turnovers is probably classified as a meltdown. I think he kind of saved himself with that, that great drive to close out the first half. That really changed the perception of things. Hits a touchdown from the red zone. That was good to see. The other one was from the 21. That's basically the red zone too. So good to see those moments. We've been harping on those quite a bit. But Manny threw a lot of picks, and I will say that if we're going to do a DNA analysis of this, I think you're seeing the same DNA in this game that you saw in the Seattle game. The Seattle game's easy to forget because those turnover-worthy plays didn't turn into actual turnovers, but they were there for the taking. You create a bunch of opportunities for turnover-worthy plays. It's kind of like baseball where your batting average on balls in play is sky high, and you can look at it and say, hey, that's going to come back down to earth. I mean, his turnover-worthy plays, the percentage in these types of situations, really high. Dance with the devil. Devil got him today.
Yeah, look, and it's not just an excuse for him when they say, because he was part of the guy, he was also making mistakes in early downs, but like, he's not built, this team is not built, this offense is not built for it to be 3rd and long the entire game, to be down by 14 the entire game. And unfortunately, that's the reality he's going to be faced with most weeks. This one worse than others. But yeah, I mean, like, the wheels really come off when you have to throw the ball downfield, when you have to throw on 3rd and 20, when no one's pass protecting for you, who's getting hit. I think this probably had to have been a season high in sacks too, I would think, right? I should look that up to see what happened.
It's got to be. There's no way he's going to take it down 4 times.
He's not going to overcome that. And you're exactly right. Like, I like that he did make some plays. On not just one drive, but probably about 3 drives. That was really nice to see. But yeah, I mean, the Avalanche hit and it swallowed them up today, no doubt about it. The DNA of this was the DA of this too. what a flex for him. I didn't look. Do you have your board handy?
I always got the board handy. Hold on one second.
I think you were predicting a DA flex today, and I didn't see it coming because I didn't see that in the Bears defense so far this season. But maybe because DA was paying half attention to all the games they played in the first 6 weeks and paying full attention to flex and all over the Saints today, because he sure did.
Yeah, let me put one on here. There was no doubt. Like, look, like if you're him, you've been thinking about this.
Yeah.
For months. I can't see what I got. Yep, there it is. There
you got 3. I got 1. I got more than 1.
You got 1 right now, man. You got 1. I keep score. You ain't winning that. You almost got the Olave again. 98 yards was right on it. I thought for sure this was going to be the game. I was going to give you credit for it just on delay, but he didn't get it. Yeah. Yeah, DA came back. I mean, look, if you get fired from a job and you feel it's unjust and you have a chance to get revenge, like there aren't a lot of people that are going to.
He talked about it in the post-game speech too. Like he felt good. He felt good today. He got that one today. They're 0-2 on those revenge matches. Not that Sean Payton was getting revenge against him, but reunion matches. That Denver loss was one of their ugliest of the season, right around this time last year. So. Look, yeah, there's a team that's licking its wounds right now and rebuilding, and I know that's what you wrote about. I know you talked about it in other segments, but this was the reality check game. Seattle wasn't even a reality check. Seattle was like, oh man, what happens if everything goes wrong in the first quarter? Like, there's no making up for it. This team has not arrived, and it's not going to arrive for a while game.
Last point on this too, before we move on. Like, also we've seen kind of 2 games now where. Again, Seattle, he got screwed by the circumstances. Circumstances were bad again today, though. But 2 times now where they've had to lean kind of on the quarterback for them to have a prayer to come back. Can't play the mixed down football, and it didn't go well. It didn't go well. So the next time it happens, you got to see it. Or those are the things that open doors. The difference between Trevor Siemian and Jameis Winston was that Jameis Winston could win a couple games when he was a starter. Trevor Siemian couldn't. And even Jameis Winston didn't win consistently enough to be a starting quarterback. But every now and then you gotta show you can't always automatically be got behind in the game. It's over.
Look,
it can't be that.
Spencer deserves the microscope. He took it upon himself too. He didn't try to deflect anything today. But this was also Kellen Moore's lowest point of the season. The Bears had the number 31 ranked run defense in the NFL coming into this game. They're giving up, was it like 150 yards a game? And the Saints had some 3rd and 1s, 4th and 1s, boom, boom, uppercut, knockout punch in this game where they couldn't get the yard. They couldn't establish a run on early downs, and they couldn't get the yard on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 today. Just a overall failure of the offense today.
Continuing this conversation presented by Bobby Aber's Cajun Cannon Restaurant up there on Vets. Go check them out. How do you think they respond from this? They got the Bucks and the Rams coming up next. And I think maybe one of the things that us watching this, the people that watch us, anyone that watches the Saints, anyone that watches one of the teams that plays the Saints, like one of the lucky parts of this season, I think, is that it's kind of gotten to this point before it really felt hopeless in a sense. In these next 2 games, I think that despair is going to be invited in for at least a little bit, and then you kind of get through the nasty, dreary part of the fall, and maybe winter's enjoyable. But like it's a kind of a decaying right now. I think in the next couple of weeks, I think you're going to see that kind of all lean that direction. How do you think they come back from this?
Yeah, the schedule is not their friend. Now, Tampa Bay's dealing with a bunch of injuries, and they're playing on the road on Monday night. So maybe you're not getting Tampa Bay's best punch next week, but then at the Rams a week later. Like, this does not set up for like what we talked about when they got the Giants and the Patriots at home and a chance to maybe lick their wounds or whatever. So this could get worse before it gets better. Now, I think there might be some form of they can finish strong. They've got a lot of their worst teams on their, they've got a Jets at home. They've got a Titans game late in the season. They've got some opportunities to maybe end on some sort of a high note, but I don't see bounce back opportunities. I mean, they're facing real opponents. They're facing the next two opponents are in the conversation for the NFC Championship game, and they might do it without Eric McCoy now. This can be tough sailing. I don't think you can wash this one right away unless you just come out and play your best game of the season at home against Tampa Bay next week. That's a lot to ask. I'm not going to predict that they do it, but that's what they need to do to keep the season feeling like what you described. Like all hope had not been lost yet, but they can't look like a team that doesn't belong in the same building with Tampa Bay and the Rams, and it's entirely possible that they will.
It's just all about the moral victories, man. That's all they're looking for this season is moral victories. But look, today sucks. It's terrible. There's nothing cool about it. There's no hey, look, this guy played good. Young guy did this. Young guy did that. It's just kind of nasty. And there's been a bright spot in pretty much every game. Monday night on the road might maybe open the door a little bit for a better performance, a more competitive game. But I still think half-baked is fine for them. They can get by like that and probably still win this game. That might be the best team in the league. They have been at least through 6 weeks. I'd be surprised if they aren't sitting on top of the power rankings everywhere. They keep playing everybody coming off of Patriots are coming off Monday night too, I believe. So
this one, the Bears were. The Bears were. That was yeah. They were at Washington on Monday night. That's why did we put me in the 3 down? Are you and Kevin going to put me in the 3 down? I picked the Saints to win this game.
I mean, if they were going to win one, this was going to be it. You got to pick them at some point. So it wasn't completely crazy. Do you think there's any possibility at all that they go to Shuck?
I don't think yet. I think, look, I'm back to where I was in the Vegas betting odds at the beginning of the season, the bye week. The bye week is week 10, and then week 11. I mean, it feels like if they're 1-9 at that point, it's not even just about Spencer Rattler at that point. So now Rattler has to take the bye week out of the equation by having a really good game against, I think, Tampa Bay or at the Rams. Maybe he gets that last game at Carolina and right before the bye week to get one more really good positive performance and keep it at bay. But like I said, there's two things at work. There's Rattler has to keep playing well enough to keep Shuck off the field, and this team needs to not be in position to draft Mendoza with the first pick. And today, both of those things weren't true. So if they're a 1-10 team, that changes the formula. He's got to find wins somewhere. He's got to find them. I don't think we're close, though. I don't think it happens this week. I wouldn't think it would happen at the Rams. So we've got a couple more weeks to assess for sure.
Yeah, I'd be surprised. I mean, Kellen Moore's kind of made it clear that he isn't going to run it as a week-to-week thing. I'd be surprised if one bad game he ejected unless he's been sitting there all the last few weeks and just been we can't hit these deep balls. Third down's terrible. I'm being very limited. I got to run a trick play on 3rd and 20. I got to run the ball on 3rd and 8. Man, that was a disgusting call. But it might just be indicative of how he feels about the situation. And if it is, you never know. Door could always be open, but I would be really surprised by it. All right,
I don't think I'm now. If the wheels come off a game like this, it wouldn't have been crazy for me to see him come in the third quarter, in one of those situations. But I don't think I think it's going to take more than this to make it on the cusp of being a permanent switch for sure.
And the coach also isn't in I need to save my job mode either. So that's often where you see kind of a terrible loss. Got to go see if the other guy can get me out of 1-6. Yeah. All right, we're gonna hit a quick break and we'll be back with the player of the game. Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center is proud to team up with the NFL and the New Orleans Saints Crucial Catch mission to tackle cancer and save lives. Together, they're helping more people access the tools needed to detect cancer early and promoting prevention and early detection. Learn more at ochsner.org/endcancer.
Rouse's Markets is voted best grocery store in New Orleans, best grocery store in Baton Rouge, Mississippi, Gulf Coast, Thibodaux, Houma, Hammond, Lake Charles, Mobile, year after year. Thank you for choosing us best grocery store on the Gulf Coast. Number 1. Thank you.
Thank you.
The number 1 grocery store
in Mississippi, Alabama,
Louisiana. 1 million customers a week can't be wrong. Welcome to Rouse's.
I used a home equity loan from Keesler Federal to fix up the garage. Because living your dream means living your way.
And the kids take off field.
It's not even game day.
The NewOrleans.Football show is proudly presented by PJ's Coffee. PJ's Coffee has some of the best drinks that you can find. They have locations all over the city. They have pastries and everything else you need to get your day started. So go check them out. I don't play favorites with our sponsors on the show, but one of my favorites for sure is RV Masters. You guys have been watching our show lately and you've seen our awesome new van. That thing is decked out. And the best part about it is I took it up to RV Masters and I was like, this is what I want to do, but I had no idea how I wanted to do it or how to get it done. And they took care of it from start to finish, brought me out for updates, were giving me new ideas, and they made it exceed my wildest dreams. And they will do the same thing for you. RV Masters offers full service RV, motorhome, and travel trailer repair. They have preventative maintenance and service packages for your RVs, your AC, your generators. They specialize in solar and lithium upgrades, satellite TV, and Starlink. They'll take care of you if you get into a collision. Whatever you need, they got you. And I can speak from experience because they definitely had us on our new van. I cannot vouch for anyone more than I vouch for RV Masters. RV-Masters.com. Go check them out.
I believe it, I can see it. If it's in my sights, I achieve it. Ain't no leaving, no defeating. Show up, complete and repeat it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Get game ready. Play Game Ready Scratch-Offs and Fast Play from the lottery. Win up to $100,000. Enter the second chance drawing for a chance to win up to $1 million.
Yeah, they want me to quit, I can't stop it. I'm out of this world, I'm like a rocket. And you can never be us. We not afraid of the pressure, cause we good in the clutch. Yeah.
Get game ready. Play Game Ready Scratch-Offs and Fast Play from the lottery. Win up to $100,000. Enter the second chance drawing for a chance to win up to $1 million.
Shawbear Insurance, the Earhart Agency, is a longtime partner on this podcast, but the truth is, I was advertising them to my friends and everybody I knew long before they ever jumped on this show. And I'm going to tell you why. Every 6 months, my car insurance policy comes up, and every 6 months, I get a call from somebody from there telling me I need to change it or stay where I'm at. They're shopping my policy constantly to make sure I am getting the best possible deal. That means money in the bank. And those are the type of people you love because, look, we all live here. We all know how it is. The insurance rates are out of control. You need somebody watching your back. And they actually really do it. And I was with them before they ever asked me to be with them. So they are people that you need to be doing business with. And if you are going to look up their insurance, make sure you are looking for the Earhart Agency. Those are our guys. There's a lot of Shawbear insurances. The Earhart Agency is the one you want. I can speak for them. Real life, real support, real good business, real money saved. Call them up today. Shawbear Insurance, the Earhart Agency. Hardhide flavored whiskey, Ponchatoula strawberry, and Chilton County peaches in your favorite bars, stores, and restaurants. Hardhide Chilton County Peach Whiskey is a blend of aged wheat whiskey, light American whiskey, and fresh Chilton County peaches from Alabama's Durbin Family Farms. And Hardhide Strawberry Whiskey tells the story of a small town famous for strawberry farming. A delicious natural strawberry-infused 86 proof whiskey for whiskey lovers. Just look for the red and orange bottles in your favorite stores, bars, and restaurants. Welcome back to NewOrleans.Football. It is now time for the Hardhide player of the game, and it's a very, very easy choice for this one, Chris Olave. And last week, big down. Drops a pass, drops 2 passes, drops 3 passes. Not a good game. Lowest moment, I think, probably is a professional on the field. I put together some moments in it, but he didn't play the way he wanted to play. Chris had asked this offseason to be a downfield guy, to be a threat in all levels of the field. And then he comes into that game and just kind of blew the opportunity. Today he comes back, makes, 5 catches for 98 yards with a long of 57. Great play in the end zone. Another great play in the end zone. 2 touchdowns for him. I believe it was his first 2-touchdown game of his career. He looked awesome today. And he looked like a guy that's deserving of that contract. that's deserving of, he looked how we expect him to look. And it's really starting to come together for him. I was talking in the first segment about bright spots. Chris Olave gave you a real bright spot today. He's only 25 years old. They have been talking contract. We'll see if it gets done and see where it goes from here. But a very, very strong performance for Chris Olave today. And he gets the hard-eyed player of the game coming off of that tough performance. A big, big personal win for Chris Olave. All right, it's now time for 3 Up and 3 Down presented by Aaron Rose. Player of the game this week was Chris Olave, so he's out of the mix for 3 Up and 3 Down. I will let you start with your first pick. Might not be a robust list this week.
Yeah. How do we go about getting this without trying to participate in some participation award ceremony? But I put Chase Young on there. I thought that, he was active, right? Even from the start of the game, you saw him kind of like jumping some of the plays behind the line of scrimmage, some of those bubbles that they were trying to run. I think he almost got 2 of them. Had a couple of plays with pressure. I thought, Williams did some things to get away from some pressure at times, but he had an active game. And so, in a game where there's not many ups, I think Young is one of the guys that stood up in a positive way.
Yeah, give me Quincy Riley is my first pick on this side. Had the interception, was a big play for the team, looking for some bright spots in there. He's somebody that's played well, and he didn't play well last week, so I thought the bounce back was important. That's kind of what you want to see from a young player. Not every day is going to be perfect. What can you do with the adversity? Can you stop it from snowballing on you? I'm sure he probably gave up some other stuff in this game, but that was a big moment for him to just kind of read that, sit on it, make the play, and show up where his team needed him to show up.
Yeah, and so when you see a young player like that, like have a bad game, and then they come back the next game and they do something well, then I think that's always a good sign, because rookie years are going to be full of those ups and downs, and so good for him. The list gets tricky from here, coming up with additional ups, because it was not a lot. I put Stutzman in there just because I think his snap count started, looked like it was going up a little bit. I saw him make a couple. I think I saw him make a play or two when he was in there, and he's kind of someone that's easy to look for when he's in the game, because he's a linebacker when his number's like 28 and he got this neck brace on there, and so yeah, I just think with him on there and Riley on there, you think like, all right, well, maybe at least some of the young guys are starting to step up and maybe find themselves a little bit in this league in the light of other things not going well. So yeah, I put him on my list.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone that I'd really be comfortable stamping with an up. I thought I saw Kool-Aid make a couple plays, but I want to verify that on the film when we watch it. So I'm going to spin it forward to the downs. I think the down list has to start with Spencer Rattler. 3 interceptions. Was picked off another time. It got dropped due to a Bears collision. There was another play where he should have got picked off. He fumbled on, I think it was the second play of the game, spotted them 3 points. Just not a good game for him. And coming off probably the best game of his career, was a chance to have some momentum, and it didn't come. And look, we've seen Dennis Allen just put Tom Brady in a blender. So this isn't the first or last time this is going to happen to a quarterback. We'll see what the coaching staff thinks of him. It'll be interesting, because if they were looking for an eject button, I think it exists now. But if they weren't, it's a game, and you see how a guy comes back from it. Quarterbacks have duds. He had a dud. We'll see what he does next week against the Bucs if he's in there.
Yeah. He was someone that was in my list also. And, just to kind of piggyback a little bit off of what you were saying, we wanted to see him open it up a little bit more from him, stop some of the short passes and things along those lines. And we saw some of that this game, and it wasn't pretty, right? I mean, it's really no way to sugarcoat it. And so that was just a little bit disappointing. And, just that some of the ball placement issues that he had, like on, one of the interceptions across the middle, it was behind tipping. So it was like the right read, but he didn't physically put the ball where it should be. So yeah, it's a concerning game from him. He's a young player. These are going to happen. I don't want to, this is not career defining or anything, but yeah, it's a game that you start to, and when you have another quarterback who they drafted 40, it just lends itself to those questions, whether they are valid questions or not, right? I mean, I think that's just going to be the case with this one. So he was on my list. Someone else I put on the list, I put Reed on my list. I just haven't really been super impressed by his own field play. And he's a safety, so a lot of there's a lot of things that has to happen in front of a safety, right? So it's just hard to evaluate safeties in isolation because, the corners play into it and a lot of other guys. But I mean, he's just missing tackles, which is, something that he's supposed to be. He's a force player. And so I just saw, the running back just kind of run through him at times. I think I saw another play made on him in coverage also. And so, yeah, he's someone where, they signed him. He was one of their big signings this offseason. And I don't think it's really up until this point, it hasn't turned out great. So he's someone that they're going to need to, he's going to have to play better if he's going to be part of this future.
Yeah, and just adding to that, throw Godshaw on there, throw Pete Werner on there, throw Demario Davis on there, Justin Reed, Jonathan Ballard. Like, none of those guys did their job against the run today. It wasn't enough. They were getting gutted right up the middle. So anybody involved in that up the middle aspect of the defense, they're on that list. They got dirty hands. That was probably the most bullying performance that I can remember seeing in quite a while by that group. So basically, throw the whole defense on that.
You like Jigga. You like the whole. You just gave him half a bar.
Yeah, just throw the whole,
just throw them all in one.
They're all on there. I don't need to go through them one by one. It was nasty. It was ugly. We sat through it. I'm not going to dissect it for 15 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. I put AK on there. I put AK on there. Yeah, just putrid pass protection. I mean, couple of different times, back-to-back plays, drive killing plays, right? And I think it's something that, it's never been a strong suit of his, but
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, it's just you expect more out of him, and he's someone who he's someone who holds himself and others to a high standard. So it's incumbent upon us to hold him to that same standard, and he just didn't meet it today. So, yeah.
Yeah, and last one. In a normal day, you probably say 53 yards, wet, Chicago, outside, missed it. Those happen. When you're a guy that's missed kicks, I think in 5 of 7 games, any misses getting kind of added to that case. Like you're gonna have to defend yourself against it.
Yeah.
Blake Group, you missed another one.
Yep.
It's a problem.
Yeah, I think the ability to trust that operation going forward is cut off.
Yes.
Right? You're always going to be checking it out. Last guy for me, don't need to get too deep into it. I put Juwan on there. There's more than 3, but just you got to make some of these catches he's making, and just some of the other stuff. But he was on my list for a few different reasons.
Well, all right, that's going to do it for 3 Up, 3 Down. We're going to hit a break, and we'll be back with the Get Gorgon question of the day. Big news from the home team. Introducing our newest sponsor, the Mortgage Brothers. With over 30 years of combined experience, the Mortgage Brothers are the quarterbacks of home lending, calling the right plays to get you across the goal line. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned vet, they'll coach you through every down and make sure you feel like part of the team. They're backed by Cross Country Mortgage, the #1 retail lender in the nation. So there's no loan playbook they can't run. FHA, VA, conventional, RD, and more. They're lifelong season ticket holders, local guys who know the field and your market, and their online application takes less than 10 minutes. Why fumble your mortgage with some online lender who's never even watched your team play? Stick with the Mortgage Brothers, the trusted pros who play to win. Mention NOF and get $500 back in lender credit toward your closing costs. That's money back in your pocket when it counts. Visit mortgagebros.money and start shopping with confidence. Because with Mortgage Brothers, it's always no flags, no fumbles, just smooth closings every single time.
Score big with kickoff combos at New Orleans Hamburger and Seafood Company. Don't pass on your choice of our seafood combos or our slider specials. Served with a side of garlic herb fries. Run in now for specials starting at $9.99 at New Orleans Hamburger and Seafood Company.
I got hurt in a car wreck. Why should I get Gordon?
Because when you're hurt, you need money. And I fight for the people of Southeast Louisiana every day. I got a client who injured their neck in a car wreck, $250,000. Another client was hit by a big truck and needed back surgery. I got them $700,000, and they deserved every single penny.
That's what I'm talking about. Why wouldn't I get Gordon?
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, just call me, New Orleans. Get it done.
Call 504-800-8888.
You ever take a bite of something and immediately think, yeah, I'm coming back for this? Bobby Hebert's Cajun Cannon Restaurant just added some new dishes, and man, they crushed it. The shrimp and crawfish pistolettes, golden and stuffed with bold Cajun flavor. Fried oyster tacos, crispy, fresh with the perfect kick. And the soft shell crab Alfredo, creamy, rich, and absolutely worth the order. They're open 7 days a week and they deliver late. Bobby Heber's Cajun Cannon Restaurant. Delicious food, superior service. Whether you are a local New Orleanian or a fan in town for the game, get your pre- and post-game fired up at Aaron Rose. Local chaos and local love for the black and gold. Wake up and live with daily drink specials, mimosas, screwdrivers, Bloody Marys, and hot or frozen Irish coffees, all just $3 or $4 between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Aaron Rose, half a block from Bourbon Street in the French Quarter, 811 Conti Street. Attention Saints fans, don't let pests and termites invade your home field. Trust the team at Red Pest Solutions to tackle those unwelcome visitors. Call the Red Man today for unbeatable pest and termite control. Score peace with no pest. Visit redpest.com, REDDPEST.com. Welcome back to NewOrleans.Football. It is now time for the Get Gordon question of the day, presented by Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you need help, make sure you are getting Gordon. And if the Saints need help, I don't know. They aren't going to Devaughn Vele. It's not really part of what they're doing right now, and that is the question of the day. Why is Vele not getting snaps? They gave up a fourth for him. I get it, and I was harping on this last week at the same time after the game, and it's a huge surprise to me. And we're at a point now where it's pretty much, 7 games into the season, and it hasn't happened yet. There's 10 weeks left. You could get kind of that momentum built over the final 10 weeks of the season, but if it doesn't happen soon, this trade for the 4th round pick is very quickly going to start being opened up to wider scrutiny, because you aren't converting on third downs, and you aren't, well, they got the red zone TD today, but they aren't getting those like physical catches, and they just aren't getting Devaughn Vele involved. I think he played 14 snaps today. Doesn't have a pass thrown to him, and this isn't what you traded a 4th round pick for. And it looks even worse because in this draft, there looks to be a ton of wide receiver depth, and you potentially could have looked to draft somebody there instead of a guy that now will have 2 years burnt on his rookie contract going into next year, and who spent half a season on your team and didn't really do anything. Now, he had injuries. The injuries could have set him back. It could be something where he gets some momentum going later in the year and looks like a bright spot. But right now, that light isn't on. So, yeah, I think it is fair. Everyone's going to sit here and say, what's going on with this? And again, I'm allowing for patience and time and development in the situation. We saw him do a lot of good things in Denver last year, but it isn't fitting right now for the Saints. And yes, I think it's on the bingo card of possibilities that this might not work out. And if it doesn't, what does that mean? And why did you trade for a guy that's, I think, 28 years old right now? If he isn't going to come in and help Spencer Rattler perform, move the ball, score touchdowns, convert on third downs, then what was the point of it? Because, again, I've said this a bunch of times, you could sell me on investing in the development of your young quarterback by trading for him because you lack that body type. You didn't have that type of player on your team, but he isn't helping there. So if he isn't helping there, trading the 4th for an older player a year into his contract, it gets tough very quickly. So 10 games to go. I think that's very high on the list of things that we need to see over the rest of the season to feel good about where this team's position going into next year. Otherwise, that could look like a big mistake, and that would be very, very unfortunate for a rebuilding team. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll be back in a couple days with the next episode. For everything else, keep it locked to NewOrleans.Football. NewOrleans.Football is the website. Use the code NOF, 20% off your first payment.